Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I'm your yarn host Jennifer and this is my favorite boy in the whole world, my Benjamin. This is Bentleyus Maximus, Benjamin, Benny Boo Boo. That's my boy. That's my Bubbaloo, Bubbaloo. He no longer has a doggy bed in here because his doggy bed was very... You want a kiss? Kiss. Thank you. His doggy bed was very dirty because a lot of dogs lay in it when they're muddy. And so his doggy bed's not in here currently. And so he doesn't know what to do with himself. And apparently he's hungry because that's him telling me he's hungry because his bowl is in here. Because also, he has not been wanting to eat unless I separate him entirely from everyone. So his bowl's been in my office and he sits in here and eats with me. I'm drinking zero sugar Dr. Pepper for this morning. I've been drinking a lot of water lately. Like a lot. Anyway, none of that is anybody's concern. They don't care. I went to Michael's. That's what we're here for. It's Yarn Porn Friday. If you don't know, because you haven't been here, and you don't know what the heck a Yarn Porn Friday is, because we don't do them every Friday like we used to. And Yarn Porn Friday is when I show you what I have purchased on Fridays. Yarn, new yarn. We call it yarn porn, kind of like food porn. And I know some people really hate that term, but like, it's eye candy. It's nummy nummies. Hey, Nosy, you gonna eat the paper? He's nibbling at Lucas's school papers. I don't know why. I went to Michael's. Why did I go to Michael's? Because I needed a Friday video. That was the main reason I went to Michael's, because I needed a Friday video. Also, I had two $5 rewards. I don't know why they didn't combine them and just give me a $10 reward, but I had two $5 rewards. I had a 15% off everything regular price coupon and a 30% off one regular priced item. So, I don't know if I actually have my receipt in here. I know that I kept it. I did buy a couple of things that were not in here, that are not in here, because I bought my husband a snack, because he went with me. And I bought him this, which has nothing to do with yarn. This is a sealing wax stamp kit, and I'm going to tell you why this was a cool... Spot focus can turn all the way off. There we go. So I bought him. I feel like you guys are up too high. Now you're down too low. Anyway, so I'm going to tell you why while I'm adjusting my camera. I think that's about perfect. I'm going to say this quietly because even though my son is 11, he still believes. Okay? Which is crazy to me, but I think the magic of Christmas has always been very heavy in my house. Juju believed until she was 9, almost 10. The girls believed until they were 10-ish, I think. It also doesn't help. Or it does. It helps that I worked with Santa Claus. Like in my photography days, I worked with actual Santa Claus. And so they actually made Juju an honorary elf one year, which was really cute. Santa and his elves made her an honorary elf after I did a big giant photo session with him. And every year, I'm going to say this in case there's any littles that are watching, because I know you guys have a lot of littles, okay? Santa is my friend. And I know that not everyone believes in Santa. I fully 100% believe in Santa. Every year, from the time the girls were 3 and 5, so my daughter and my niece were 3, and my bigger niece was 5. They started getting letters from Santa. Now, Santa started writing letters because specifically my nieces had a hard time believing in magical things because they had a hard childhood. Santa's letters are on beautiful parchment paper, and they are printed off with red ink mostly, and then they are folded and they are sealed with a wax seal. Okay? When my husband saw this, he wanted it because he is very, very good friends with Santa. And the letter thing was entirely Mr. Cinnamon's thing. Okay, if you get what I'm saying. So when he saw this, his whole face lit up. And I was like, well, how much is it? Because I was paying for the purchase. So he's also really weird about letting me pay for anything. He's really weird about that. But I was buying yarn. I had my credit card. I had my coupons set up. And I knew I had two $5 rewards. I had 30% off regular price. And I had 15% off regular price. Actually, I think it might have been regular price. I think it was 15% off everything. Every item was 15% off sale or regular. And then 30% off was regular price. That's what the coupon was. So even if it was on sale, it was going to be an extra 15% off. And it was on sale. So that's why when he saw this, his whole face lit up. And I was like, how much is it? He's all, I don't know. It's probably a lot of money. I was like, well, let's go scan it and see. Knowing darn well I'm buying this thing for him. It is a wax seal thing. So, I didn't actually look at it. He looked at it. He really fell in love with it. So, what it is it's 3 metal Christmas stamps, a handle, the wax seal warmer, a wax seal spoon, and a bottle of wax beads. The Santa generally uses red wax, but the green is cool. So, this was, what did I do with my receipt? I think it's in my purse. My purse is on the kitchen table. I will be right back. I'm gonna leave you rolling. Stay. Oh boy. I think I threw it in my purse. I did. Are you a handsome boy? Are you a handsome boy? I want to say it was regular price $20. And I know this is not yarn related, but in case there's any Santa lovers out there that want to steal ideas. So it was regularly $24.99. There's something under that says Christmas something, and it took $10 off the price. So I don't know why it says minus $10, but it has like a barcode that says 216648 and then Christmas ... under it, and it deducted $10 from the $24.99. I don't know if that's their Christmas sale. And then it took off $2.18 for the voucher. So they take the $5 and the $10 vouchers, the rewards, and they just they divide it by the number of items, and they take like a percentage off of each item. So then they subtracted $2.18 for the voucher, and then $2.24 for the 15% off my entire purchase. So this wax set cost me $12.75. And so this is the wax warmer. I'm gonna assume you put like a tea light or something under there. Put the little spoon thing in there, I guess. The wax beads go in here. I'm guessing you put a tea light under here. Melt the wax. you put the little stamp thingy on here. You pour the wax on where the fold is on the paper to seal it, and then you push the stamp in, and it makes the Christmas tree design, or there's a reindeer, or there's one that says Merry Christmas. And he was very, very excited to see this, because this kind of stuff is usually stuff you have to order on Amazon or the internet. And to see that Michael's had it, it was a cool kit. So I got that for him. He was very, very happy. And then I got, they had Halloween 80% off, and they had a ton of stuff. So I got shrinky dinks because I thought these would be fun. I don't think Little Man at all is going to be interested in this, but me and Juju like doing this kind of stuff. We always have. And so they had Nightmare Before Christmas, and they had Halloween Stitch. And so if you don't know what a shrinky dink is, because you live under a rock, you color the I want to say vellum papers, and then you heat them in the microwave. So you color the paper, you cut it out, you put it on a baking sheet, you put it in the oven, and it shrinks up and hardens, and you can make little charms out of it. So these will probably be turned into stitch markers, because they will shrink up to about this big, and they'll be thick and hard. And if you put a hole punch in it before you shrink them up, you can turn them into stitch markers and charms. And these were $1 a box, because they were 80% off. Let's see. Yeah. It says price $1, and then it took off. Wait a minute. How does that work? So it doesn't say the rate. No, regular $4.99. They took off $3.99, and then they took off 16 cents. Which still doesn't quite add up. They were $1. They were $1 each. I paid $1. And then the rest is yarn. And I'm going to tell you why I bought this yarn. And I'm going to tell you the whole point of me going to Michael's was the video. But look at how cute he is. He's such a good boy. He's a good boy. Your eyes are constantly dirty lately, bud. You need some eye wash. Yes, yucky. Yes, yucky. You got to be handsome for camera. Yeah. Love you. You good boy. Are you hungry? Do you want Juju to feed you? Are you thirsty? Do you want water? Do you want to go bye-bye in the car? Okay, so my main goal for going to Michael's, aside from using my coupons and having content, was I am going to show you these in greater detail in Monday Makes videos, but I've been making the Grinch kits. So I made the Five Below Grinch. I made the Woobles Grinch and his hat, which I will show you in greater detail. And then I went completely left sideways and I made my own, we're calling him Leggy Grinchy. I based him off of the Leggy Froggy patterns. I do have a Leggy Froggy pattern here on the channel. So I took elements from both of the Five Below kit and the Woobles kit, and I turned him into a Leggy Grinchy, and I love him best out of the three of them. So what I wanted to do is, this is the body for the most part, is almost the same pattern as the Woobles. I used the Woobles as a base for the way I made his head and his body. It is not exact because I didn't actually follow the pattern at that point. But I used inspiration from the Woobles, and the stitch count is very close to the same. And the reason he's so much bigger body-wise is because I used a thicker yarn. I think this is actually the Joann's Posh. Because I have like 2 of these green colors. I wanted to make a cute little Grinchy that was bigger. The Posh yarn is thicker than the Woobles yarn and it's thicker than the chenille yarn that came in the Five Below kit, but it's not as thick as some chenilles on the market. All right, so one of the things with having a neurodivergent son is they have stems. And I'm gonna educate you. They will pick a phrase, no matter how inappropriate it is, and they will repeat it for months on end. Now this is very specific to my son. Not all neurodivergent kids do this. He will get a phrase stuck in his head and he, what?
Is someone coming to the house later?
Yes.
Can we go to the photo out?
No, because they're not coming till 5 and it's gonna be dark. Can you go take your morning dose, please?
I'm going to leave at 4.
Can you go take your morning dose? And I swear this kid picks the most inappropriate phrases to say repeatedly for months on end. And the more attention you draw to him saying that phrase, the longer he will say that phrase. And he has been doing this since he could talk. And so there are certain words or phrases that he will repeat for months. And then all of a sudden he never says it ever again and he picks a new stem. Now, he hasn't had his ADHD medicine yet. So until that kicks in, he's going to be loud and obnoxious and stimming very, very loudly. So I do apologize for that. Back to the show. Just a good boy. I wanted to make him again, but even bigger.
I also have the last one from my good night.
That would have been a disaster. All right. I smell hand sanitizer, which is weird because there's none in this house. All right, anyway. Let's try to refocus. Because that was a whole ordeal. I want to recreate him and make him bigger. And so I went to Michael's with the idea of looking for a Grinch colored yarn. Now, we did have some discussion because I really like the fluorescent green, the neon green, if you will, Grinchy. But I think that this color green is a little more accurate to what he should be. And so I was looking for this and Mr. Cinnamon was like, no, you actually need this color. So what I found was a much thicker yarn than the Posh. This is Demi Pearl. I have never used Demi Pearl. I believe I have Demi Pearl. This kind of reminds me of, that's a different yarn entirely. This reminds me of the, what is the new yarn from Premier? I know I have one. It's in here somewhere. Plush, the new plush from Premier. That's what it reminds me of. And I'm going to say it's probably in storage. It reminds me of the new plush yarn from Premier. It's a big, fat, ropey tube of chenille. Now this says it's a super bulky 6. And this is 100% polyester. It's 152 yards. It is the color Jade Sheen, one word, or Luster Jade. And it's not quite the color of this. Not quite the color of that, but I think it'll be a fine Grinch color. I mean, if you see a green thing, you kind of know it's going to be the Grinch, especially if he has a Santa hat on or a red and white scarf. By the way, I had someone contact me about this pattern. This is the Five Below kit. They asked me because they were really confused by the scarf. If you bought this Five Below kit, I was confused by the scarf too. What I did is I held the red and the white together in my hand, and this is just a chain. So, holding both of them, making a chain, I chained red, chained white, chained red, chained white, chain red, chain white, until it was about this long. And then I knotted it at both ends. That's, I think, what the pattern is telling you to do if you have that kit. That's what I did, and it worked, and it kind of looks like the thing on the box. We'll talk more about that Monday, but I did want to cover that. So the green ball of yarn regularly was $9.99. I paid $6.99. So it looks like they gave me the $3, the 30% off voucher off of this ball of yarn. And then they gave me $1.14 as part of the reward. So I paid $6.99 for this ball of yarn, I think. I don't know the way that this works. Okay, so it says $9.99. They took the $3 off. It was $6.99. And then it says voucher $1.14. So did they take the $1.14 at the bottom? Because then this would have actually been less than $6.99. Right? So $6.99 minus, what did I say? $1.14. That would be $5.86. Right? Did I do that math right? Either way. No matter how I got a good deal, okay? By the way, I forgot to put in the video. I did, at the end of this video, I will show you. I will put in the clips of us shopping at Michael. I'll put it at the end of the video. I normally put it at the beginning, but I forgot that I did that. Our store had a ton of Big Twist, but they had like the Big Twist value, and then they had the Big Twist Pound Plus balls in a bunch of different colors. Problem is, they wanted $11.99 for the value plus ones, the pound of yarn. And I never paid over $6.99 for those at Joann's. And even with the 30% off of $11.99, it's not $6.99. So I did not buy any of that because they had a real beautiful like eggplant purple that I wanted. I was not going to pay more than $6.99, especially knowing that I can find a pound of the big balls of the value basics yarn from Premier for like $7. So that, just personal opinion on that one. So I bought this with the intention of making another Grinch just like this, but bigger. I want to see how big he comes out with the same exact stitch count, but with a fatter yarn and a bigger hook. So that was the whole point of buying the green. And then this was sitting on the shelf, and you already know. Pink is one of my favorite colors. And I say one of because I like purple, I like pink, I like blue, I like all the bright colors. Bobby, you can lay down. I know that chair is too small for you. Because you're a big boy. Yes, you go, boy. Love you. So this is, I thought was the same yarn. It's an entirely different yarn. So this one says Demi Pearl. And this one says Sweet Snuggles Light. Which now that I'm recalling, I think I have heard bad things about the Sweet Snuggles Light. That it falls apart and there's a lot of knots in it. But then there's a new formula, so they're fixing it and working on it. I don't know any of this. I am fairly new to making amigurumis. I mean, I've always made them, but I've never enjoyed them until recently. And like within the past year, I really started making the amigurumis and using this style of yarn. And so I don't have as much knowledge and education in polyester yarns as I do in, like, say, acrylic or wools. With that being said, I do pay attention to what other people say about these yarns, and I've not heard good things about this, but the color was, like, screaming my name. So this is Sweet Snuggles Light. It's 100% polyester. This one's 218 yards, whereas this one's 152 yards. They both say they're a super bulky 6. The green one says it recommends 6.5mm stitch, whereas this one says 8mm stitch, which is funny because the green actually is thicker by a lot, and it wants a smaller hook. So I don't understand that at all. I'm not even gonna pretend to understand that. This one is called Carmine Rose, and it is much more hot pink than what is showing on camera. Like, it's real rough. Let's see if my camera will even adjust. That's close. It's real hot pink. You poor thing. Are you so tired and you can't get comfortable? You love me? Alright, so yes, I kiss my dogs on the mouth constantly, especially this one. Because look at this face. Look at that face. How could you not? How could you not? So I bought this one. This one was regularly $9.99, I believe. Yep. And I paid $8.49 because it gave me the 15% off. And then it took an extra $1.50 off of the $8.50. So paid $7 for this ball of yarn. And do I have plans for this hot pink? No. But I thought it was pretty and I got the hot pink. We're getting lots of like Bentley attention today. Like, look at this boy. He just wants all the lovin's. And then I bought some yarns for Christmas presents because my niece loves rough washcloths. She likes the washclothy feeling wool yarn, not wool, the yarns. She likes them not like face scrub, not like not kitchen scrubby, like scrubbing the dishes or scrubbing the bathroom floor. Not to that level, because some scrubby yarns are disgusting, like rough, scratchy, abrasive. I thought I would give these ones a try, and I think if I hold this together with a cotton, it will be even less scratchy. I haven't tried this one before. This kind of reminds me of, I want to say, the washi yarn that Premier made years ago. The colors are reminiscent of it. It just feels scratchier than I remember the washi yarn feeling. But knowing my niece like I know her, she specifically likes these rough washcloths to wash her face. She had really bad acne when she was a teenager, like really bad. And she also has like either really bad eczema or psoriasis or something is going on with her skin. She refuses to go get checked out. Absolutely refuses. And she's a grown adult. She's 22 now. There's nothing I can do to make her do anything, but she likes the really, really rough washcloths. So I decided I would try these out. These are called Loops and Threads Squeaky Clean. These are, again, polyester. It says it's a worsted weight number 4. This is the color Candy or Bonbon. And this one is the color Aurora or Aurora with an E, because I think that's the French version. Bonbon means candy in French, right? And Aurora with an E is the same as Aurora, like Borealis. 78 yards each. Hang on, I hear something out front. I thought I heard a dog yipping in the front yard. And I had to go check out the window. And it was not a dog at all. It was a squirrel. It was a black squirrel. We have a black squirrel that has a death wish. Or it just really likes playing chicken with the big dogs. So it will come into the yard. See? He's going to freak out if that squirrel comes back on the porch. It was on the porch making noises. I think it wants me to feed him, but I don't have any bird seed, so I can't feed anybody. And he will come to the side living room window, because the fence is like, my window is here and the fence like kind of lines up with the edge of the house. He will come up the fence line and almost knock on the window, which is funny because I don't think I've had bird seed in my bird feeders for probably a year now. I ran out maybe in the springtime and I just haven't bought more because everything else has been going on. So I don't know what he's asking for, but, and the squirrels only, I think the black squirrel was born last summer. So they're about a year and a half old squirrels. So they shouldn't be used to having that much birdseed anyway. And the reason I know that he was born last summer is because I've never seen black squirrels in Virginia until last year. And black squirrels in Michigan were common. Like we had as many black squirrels as we had the all over tan ones. Now squirrels change from state to state. There's 100 different breeds of squirrels in the United States. And I only knew that through my travels, because like sometimes you'll see a squirrel and you're not sure it's actually a squirrel because it looks so weird. Specifically in Wisconsin, they have squirrels that look like chipmunk beaver squirrels. They're weird looking. They have like these spots and specks down their back, like almost looks like Morse code down their back. And their face looks more like a chipmunk than a squirrel. They're just weird looking squirrels. And they're real long and skinny and low to the ground. Anyway, the reason I know that that squirrel's only a year and a half old is because all of a sudden a black squirrel appeared and got together with our normal squirrels. Our normal squirrels are like tan with like white down their chest, and they sound like cats. And I'm not a big fan of them. They're jerk squirrels, like they're jerks. So when the black one appeared, he was living like around the corner, and I noticed him right away. I was like, where did the black squirrel come from? And then he mated with our squirrel that lived in our tree. And then she had 2 babies. One was black and one was gray, which was crazy. And we watched her. There was a really bad storm, and they were in our pine tree. Actually, it might be a cedar tree, a big evergreen tree next to our house. She nested them in that tree. And when the storm came, there was damage to her nest. So she took the babies and carried them and made a new nest in a new tree. And we watched her trying to carry the babies because they were this big. It was the cutest, sweetest thing. So I have kept an eye on the black squirrel ever since he was born. I know that that's him. He's much smaller than it might be a female. This one is much smaller than his father was, and his father lived like around the corner and then disappeared. So I don't know. He like appeared just to give us a black baby squirrel. And I'm so happy to have black baby squirrels. Like, I was so happy to see that. All right, so these were, it was like a huge tangent, but you see Belly wants to look out the window now like a good boy. These were regularly $6.99, I think. Let me find them. Squeaky clean, regularly $6.99. I paid $5.94 for them. And I think one ball will probably make one decent sized washcloth. So I bought these 2 colors. Like I said, this one is Candy and this one is Aurora. And they are not soft. I would not like this as a washcloth. I would use this as a scrubby. But I know that if I hold this together with cotton, it will give the effect that she likes. And I think there's a Premier Yarn cotton that I have that will match this. Probably in storage, but she likes getting washcloths for Christmas. So that's why I bought those. And then I bought this because it was soft. And it was pretty. This is the Loops and Threads Heathered Bamboo. I've had my eye on this for a while, and I'm going to be real honest. I think I purchased one a couple months ago in the color purple. And I never used it. So I bought another one in the color blue because I had rewards and a coupon, and this was regularly $7.99. I paid $6.79, and then they took off an extra $1.20 from my thing. So this stuff is really soft. I love bamboo yarn. Bamboo can be heavy, like it's weighty. So if you make a garment with bamboo, it kind of is heavy on you. But the good thing about bamboo is it stays cold to the touch for some reason. Like it always feels cool. So if you're a hot-blooded person like I am, it's nice to have something that feels cool. This is 53% acrylic, 47% bamboo. Everything else I bought was 100% polyester. It says it's a medium 4 or worsted weight. Which I get the question a lot. What does that mean? It's just telling you how thick the yarn is. It's a measure of thickness. It says 4.5 millimeter crochet hook, 204 yards. Now, it's probably going to be splitty, which is evident by the fact that it's splitting just sitting here. And I don't remember if I worked up a swatch of this for the channel or not. Right, there's the end. I wanted to work up a swatch and just see what the fabric of it looks like. So this says 4.5 millimeter crochet hook. I'm going to use a 5 because I feel like a 5 is more, makes more sense for the thickness of this yarn. Dropping hooks. Dropping hooks. That's a 4.5. There's my 5. I used to have these all lined up by their size, and it kept falling over, so they got all mixed up. So I'm gonna work up a swatch. Do you guys want to actually watch my hands? That means I gotta move stuff, and I can point you guys down at my hands so you can watch me work up a swatch of this bamboo yarn. Actually, I should probably grab the center pole because of course we got a yarn barf. Why wouldn't we? All right. I'm gonna go down to the table and I'm gonna work up a swatch. My child just sent me a YouTube video telling me that he thinks I should wrap his presents like this for Christmas. And it was some weird thing that is extra work just so that you can peel it like a gum wrapper. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. Weirdo. He's literally upstairs sending me YouTube shorts. Alright, so right off the bat, this feels thicker than a 4. This feels like a 5 weight almost. It's so thick. And it's definitely splitty. You see that? But that is very, very common with bamboo. And some people are going to hate this yarn because it's so splitty and it just did that craziness to me. It tried to tangle, and there's actually strands that are pulling loose. So you could probably, okay, spot focus needs to turn off. There we go. So you see how it just like automatically does it. This, you could probably make this a thinner yarn. So buy one and just unspin it. I've done that with yarns. It's a lot of work. I don't recommend it. But it is, you know, if you're bored and you want to do something like that, go right ahead. So like I said, I'm using a 5mm hook, even though it suggests a 4.5mm, because I predict it's going to be splitty, and it also seems on the thick side of a 4. And no, I don't have one of those wraps per inch measure things, because I just go by visual and eyeball it. Alright, who wants to wager that that text is for my son again? Let's see. Could be for my husband. Because he's been emailing me this whole time I've been on the phone. Nope, it's Disney. Disney is sending me emails. Alright. You have double crochets. And yes, it is in fact splitty. Like, it's splitting a lot. And it's also trying to tangle on itself. This yarn is beautiful, but I think it's going to be one of those yarns you're going to have to be patient with. Because it came out of the center so tangled. And there's a knot. I just made a knot. Anybody else hear that clock ticking? It's so loud. I've never heard it before. You know what's crazy is the clock is not actually moving. I don't know why it's ticking. I didn't think there was a battery in it. I'm freaking out a little bit. Something else weird that happened to me yesterday, and this freaked me out. So the 19th was the day my mom was found passed away, and it's the 15th anniversary of her death, right? I went in my bathroom last night to take a shower before bed, and there was something sitting on the middle of my sink, and there should not be anything sitting there in the middle of my sink. It was something my mom bought for me. No, she's been gone 15 years. It was a fairy bird feeder thing that I have not seen in easily 10 years. It looked like it had been dug up from the ground, and it was sitting in the middle of my bathroom sink. And it kind of like shocked me to see it sitting there, because I haven't seen it easily in 10 years. And I don't actually remember having it here in Virginia. I remember having it in Michigan, because we moved here, we moved to Virginia in 2011, and she died in 2009. No, 15 years ago, whatever year that was. This is the 15th anniversary, I believe. So the fact that it was broken, like the chain that it hung from was gone. The fairy wings were broken. It was just, and it looked like it had been buried for a long time, like it was soil covered. And I looked at my husband, I was like, why is this on the bathroom counter? He's all, I don't even know what that is. And I was like, my mom bought this for me, and I haven't seen it in 10 years at least. Like, I don't even remember the last time I saw it. And I had this look of like shock on my face because like, and this is not the first time this has happened to me. It was, I don't know, several years ago. A photo of my mom was sitting on the edge of on the corner of my kitchen table, just sitting there. And it was a photo that was in the garage in a frame in a box. And I asked everyone in the house, like, why is this on the corner of the kitchen table? Nobody knew where it even came from, why it was sitting at the corner of the kitchen table. So it was another one of those moments like, why is this in the house? Where did it come from? And so my husband went and asked our son, and he was like, what is that thing on the sink? Did you see it? He's like, yeah, the dog had it. So he put it, and Chris was asking me, he's like, could this have been in a box in the closet? Like, is it? And I was like, no, I don't even remember having it at this house. It's a we had it in Michigan. Why it's on the sink is so confusing to me. Because even if the dogs brought it in from the backyard, they bring things in from the backyard, and it's usually in the living room, not upstairs in my bathroom, which is always closed. So it freaked me out. Like, it bothered me to see it sitting there on the anniversary of her death date. And I don't know if she died on the 19th. That's the day that they found her. She actually went missing the day before. So, but it was just the date that she got legally pronounced dead was the 19th. It was weird. It's just weird. It freaked me out a little bit. And then all night long I had nightmares, but none of the nightmares even involved her. I don't know. It was just a weird day. So, it's not as splitty as I thought it was going to be. You got to keep your tension kind of tight so that these fibers don't loosen up on you. Definitely use a bigger hook because this fabric is kind of on the dense side for me. It's feeling dense and stiff, and bamboo should not be dense and stiff. It should be drapey. So I'm thinking I would probably even go up to a 5.5 or a 6 millimeter crochet hook for this, just to give it more drape. It's obviously going to be more holey if you do that, but unless you're making a bag out of this, which you could absolutely make a bamboo bag, I would use a bigger hook. I think if you're going to use a bag, you can use the recommended hook size because you'll have a nice sturdy fabric. Did I say this was bamboo and what blended? Bamboo and acrylic. Usually they mix bamboo with cotton. So it's unusual to see it mixed with acrylic. It feels soft though. Like the fabric feels nice. It has this nice like heathered look to it. Not super drapey. But like I said, you could use a bigger hook. It's not terrible. I don't think I would make a garment out of this. I just feel like it would be too heavy. So that leads me to believe, what would I make with this? It might make a good blanket. What am I doing? I got talking. I forgot what stitch I was doing. That's not what I was supposed to be doing at all. I was trying to do the star stitch. 1, 2, 3. 1. Splitty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's split in doing this fancy stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As long as you keep the tension tight, it doesn't want to split, but you got to keep it tight there. What was I saying? Oh, what would I make out of this yarn? I think a bag would be cute. If you want a heavy weighted sweater, you could do that. I don't know if I would make a hat out of this, because I don't know how stretchy it's going to be. Because you want a stretchy yarn for hats. Oh shoot, I just lost all my stitches. This might make a good scarf. It would make a good weighted shawl if you wanted a weighted shawl. I definitely am thinking like blanket. I think this would be a good blanket if you can deal with the splittiness, because it's absolutely splitty. Let's try that stitch again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know that I like this enough to buy it a third time. Because like I said, I think I bought the purple because it was really pretty. I might have even bought the red instead of the purple. I don't remember what color. I feel like I did buy this yarn. I never tried it out. So I figured this time I'm actually going to try it out and give you guys an opinion, not just, hey, look, this is pretty yarn. And I don't think I like it enough to buy it. There's far better bamboos on the market. That's not quite this finicky. I'm just going to finish working out this stitch, which is, the star stitch is actually 2 rows of stitches create the star stitch. I don't know how I counted that so it was a perfect stitch, but all right. Considering I wasn't counting, I had like the perfect amount of stitches for that. See, and it's even like pulling and snagging on the way back through of the stitches that were already formed. So, yeah, I don't think I like this enough to buy it again. By the way, I had people ask me, did I pick the winner for the sock kit? I did, and like every time I have a giveaway, that person has not contacted me. So, I'm going to give it a couple more days and I will draw another winner. This happens every time I try to have a giveaway. I legitimately commented back to her. People have tried to reach out to her. I still have not gotten an email back, so I don't know. The giveaways, I don't know. The winners never they never contact me back. I did get a winner for the sock kit from the Premier Week stuff. Alright, so that is our swatch. It's pretty, it works up nice. I'm definitely thinking this is real close to being a thick pot. Like it's a thick 4, almost a 5. I'm trying to see if I have, I know I have a scrap somewhere. Let me try and find a regular 4-weight. Because I might be wrong. I might be wrong. Where's my yarn? I don't think I have anything in a 4-weight close by. Is this a 4-weight? Aaron. Oh, that's Aaron. That's technically a 4-weight. See the difference in the thickness? This is Aran weight. This is what says is a worsted 4, but it's a real thick 4. Like that's a huge difference. So it's not quite a 5, but it's not quite a 4 either. This one is a 4 weight. I actually really love the Color Theory yarn. Oh, it's so nice to work with. Come on. So if you see, it's a thick 4. Almost a 5. That's almost as thick as Puzzle. And Puzzle's a 5 weight. So keep that in mind when you're working with these type of yarns. Because it definitely is on the thick side. It's going to need a bigger hook than what it's actually saying to get any kind of soft fabric. Otherwise, it's going to be dense. Because that's a thick fabric for it's supposed to be a 4 weight. Is it soft? Yes. It feels really, really nice on my sensitive skin. It might make a nice sweater if you like a heavyweight sweater because the bamboo makes it heavier. Oh, that's pretty. I should have made it bigger, made a bracelet. That's really pretty bracelet. I think this would be good for blankets or for bags, is what I would probably use it for. The bad thing about the Loops and Threads branded yarn is it says, oh, scan here for patterns. But when you scan here for patterns, it takes you to all kinds of patterns for all kinds of weird crap, not just for this specific yarn. And a lot of times, there's not anything telling you what to do with this yarn or any idea. With the Loops and Threads, they're like, oh, you're on your own, figure it out. Whereas with like some of the other yarn that Michaels carries, they will have where they say, hey, here, this is the Karen. This is what you can make with the Karen. And they show examples and they show little swatches in the store. And they give little pamphlets and stuff for like some of the yarns. It's harder when you're trying to figure it out on your own. Like, yes, this is a pretty yarn. That's why I do these swatches. Because yes, it's a pretty yarn. Yes, it's soft. I really like it in the skein, but working with it, it's a little splitty, it's a little dense, it's a little heavy. I don't know that I would buy more of this or actually make anything out of it. So with that, what you will. Take my opinion with a grain of salt. It's fine. Doesn't bother me if you disagree. You can absolutely put your comments in the comments below if you've worked with this, what you have made with this, what you would make with this, because I really like in our community for everyone to share their opinions as well respectfully and don't argue, because it lets people know like, okay, well maybe Cinnamon Stitches doesn't like it, but maybe like Joanne likes it, or maybe Tina likes it, or maybe Nancy likes it, or maybe Karen likes it. So I'm totally throwing names of some of my favorite people out there, but my favorite subscribers out there. Joan is another one, you know. So yeah, I like hearing your opinion. If you've actually worked with the heathered bamboo, what you've made, put that in the comments, or what you would make with this, or what is your opinion on that yarn? Have you felt it, touched it? And then, yeah, I'm going to turn you guys back around so we can wrap up the video. All right, I'm going to take you guys on a little tour of my local store. I was looking for the limited edition anniversary cakes that they have out for Christmas. And as per usual, my store has 0. I have noticed when Karen releases any new cake, my local store never has them by the time I get in there. And I think that there are probably some very crazy people that live in my area that buy them all up. I think that's part of the problem. So I may end up going on an adventure at some point and going either to the up north Michaels. That would probably be my best bet. Or driving out to Culpeper to that Michaels. But that Michaels is hit or miss. So either way. And my app also was telling me yesterday that there was 0 yarn in stock at any of the stores near me. And I'm like, what is wrong with this app? It literally, I was searching out yarns and I clicked in store and it said 0 options available. And I clicked another store location, 0 options. I was like, how do they not have any yarn in any of the stores? That makes 0 sense. So then I had to go to a different category in the yarn section and actually click new arrivals. and then click in store, and then it showed me what was in store. And I don't know. I don't know what is the deal. I know that the Michaels up north, more closer to my husband's work, is actually a much better Michaels. They have way more stock, and every time I want yarn, I go up there to get it. So I might just have to go up there and have lunch with my husband and make an excuse to go to Michaels. It's today Thursday. I could probably make it up there tomorrow. Because today we have another showing at our house. Tomorrow we don't have anything scheduled. So hopefully nobody wants to come and look at our house tomorrow, and then I can go up north and have lunch with my husband. That will be nice. And it is past school time, so I have to let you guys go so I can homeschool my child. Because today, I think today is math, science. Today's math and science. And math is real slow going, so I gotta get on my butt with that. But stay tuned, because I'm gonna take you on a guided tour of some of the yarn at my Michaels. I'm gonna show you just what they had. It's not a real long video. It's not a real amazing video, because it was late and I was looking for something specific. But with that, I'm absolutely gonna make another Grinch in another green color. And I will see you guys in the next one. Stay tuned for the tour, and then you can end the video. Bye, guys. Here we are at Michael's, and they have a ton of big twist, which surprised me because this location has never had the big twist before. They have the big giant pound pluses, which I talked about in the video, are only $6.99 usually at Joann's, but they're $11.99 here. I did do a price check, and I really like this pretty light blue colored, which is called what is it called, Jen? Aquaman. And then the darker is teal, and then white, and then, you know. Then they had this new patchwork Bernat, which I don't think I've seen in my location before. It's supposed to do the granny square thing. I ain't into that. Those are a lot of work. Fabric. This used to be yarn, and now it's fabric. Yarn aisle number 1. I actually tested this yarn out on the channel. This is the, I don't remember what that's called, but I tested it out. It comes out really muddy. Bentley, shush. And then more of the pound pluses, big twists. Which I have some. Didn't need it, but also I'm not paying $11.99. Do you see how the Karen cakes are always empty in my store? I don't know. Like, they had the little cupcakes, and they had some of these ones left over. I think these are the, I don't remember which ones those were, but I thought this was cute, but I was fighting it. Like, it needed to be greased up. It would not open. Like, it was a struggle. I was fighting it. Yeah. So I just left it there. I'm like, no, it's cute, but I can get something cheaper and more functional in the fishing department at Walmart. So went back to look around again, see what else I could find on the yarn aisles. That's where I found the scrubby yarn. I was looking at all the pretty colors. Trying to give you guys just a, you know, a peek-see without getting too close. That's also where the bamboo is that I grabbed. I think that's what that is the heathered bamboo. See, I saw that peeking down there and I wanted it. I didn't see it on that end cap until later. Bernat blanket yarn to the ceiling. Oh, there's my husband. And then I really like this. It reminds me of the puzzle yarn. It's like a knockoff of the puzzle. I think it's called Impressions. And then I think this is the Facets yarn, which is beautiful. And I have some, and I have yet to use it. But I didn't see that they have solids to go with it now. Look at how rich that green is. And then look. Isn't that the prettiest yarn you've ever seen? Like, look at that. I don't know what I would make with it, but it's gorgeous. So now they have the solids to mix in with those. And then this is their basic acrylic yarn. Bentley, please stop. Basic acrylic yarn. It's mostly their loops and threads yarn. Then they have some wool mixed in. And I think that's all I filmed in the store. Oh no, Mr. Sedman was pointing these out to me.
The teddy bear one.
And I told him I have a couple of these, and that these kits I reviewed and I don't like them. So yeah, I have those two.
These kits, they're real bad.
And I don't, they're not that great of kits. The patterns are not good, and the yarn is hit or miss with whether it's good or not.